Rio de Janeiro is the most beautiful city on planet Earth, hands down. I would even argue it's one of the seven cities that every single person should visit at least one time in their life. But with so much to do, it's really difficult to cram in all those activities into a 1 week long trip, which is what most people have when they're traveling overseas. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it all down for you. I'm going to give you a week-long itinerary. What this will do is provide for you a framework of what you should do when you're planning your own vacation to Rio de Janeiro so that you can have your best trip to the most beautiful city on planet Earth. Enjoy. One last thing before we begin, if you like this video, please click the subscribe button below and also click the like button as well so that I know that you like this video and I know that I should go and make more of them. Hey everybody, so I wanted to do this a little bit more off the cuff, so I'm going to be writing this out as we're going along with just some minimal editing just for, clarity and for time. I'm going to copy this link, I'm going to put it in the description so you can reference this whenever you want. The main area that people think about when they talk about Rio de Janeiro is this right over here. You have Santa Teresa, you have Flamengo, you have Botafogo, and then the part that people really mean when they're talking about Rio de Janeiro is Copacabana, Ipanema, and Leblon. I don't actually think it's a good idea to stay in Copacabana, Leblon, or Ipanema. And the reason why is because these are some of the most heavily touristy areas in the entire world. And I would even argue that in terms of beaches, these are the most famous beaches on planet Earth. Now, famous beaches on planet Earth attract a few things. They attract tourists, but then they also attract a lot of scam artists and hawkers, and then they attract a lot of criminals. I'm not saying Copacabana, Ipanema, and Leblon aren't safe. I'm just saying that there's a lot of BS that goes on there that might not be the best thing to deal with on a day-to-day basis. My favorite area in Rio de Janeiro is an area called Flamengo. Now, the funny thing is that Copacabana is the most famous beach, but I actually prefer Praia de Flamengo more than Copacabana. I think it's actually a lot prettier than Copacabana. It's a lot more fun to go to on a day-to-day basis. But Copacabana is the famous beach that everyone goes to Rio de Janeiro for. Get an Airbnb in Flamengo. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you how to do this, right? So we're going to go to Flamengo. You definitely do not want to go to Carnival. So February 13th through 21st. So let's just to be safe, let's say you're going in April, right? And then let's say you're going from April 3rd to April 11th, right? So you fly, so you take the Friday off of work. That's always critical. So you can fly out Thursday night, get in on Friday, adjust on Friday, and then you have this whole time to enjoy your stay. You fly back out on Saturday, Sundays for decompressing, and then you're ready to go back to work on Monday the 13th. So one thing that's annoying about Airbnb is they start auto doing experiences, which I find they're really trying to push these experiences, which I'm going to get into in a moment. I think it's actually a pretty good thing. So I'm going to kind of do high budget, low budget here, right? So low budget, 311. I think I actually stayed in this building before. I stayed in this actual apartment before. I'm pretty confident I stayed in this apartment. If not, I stayed in this building. This is actually a really nice apartment, so I recommend this one if you're going here. Art Deco Flamingo Beach. This is $319 for 8 nights. Again, you're spending all this money to go to Rio de Janeiro, you might as well get some nice, Airbnbs. So here's one option for you. But let's say you just want to spend some more money. Let's say you're trying to spend $500-600, right? You can get an apartment like this. This is a nice apartment. This is a little bit much if you're trying to stay for a month, but it's actually kind of small though. See, this pisses me off. These types of apartments really piss me off because if you actually look at this apartment, it's not actually that much nicer than any other apartment. It's just built out a little bit nicer, but it's not actually those cheaper apartments are actually bigger than this small apartment. It's just the furnishings are newer, so they're charging you more money. This is the same thing. I wouldn't stay in either of these apartments. I'm leaving these here just so you guys can like hear how I think about these, right? Okay, this is a nice little living room, a nice little kitchen. You have a full kitchen over here. Um, Mangoes in Brazil are one of my favorite foods in the world. So, you know, let me see. Two bathrooms. That seems a little bit excessive, but yeah, yeah. This is a nice place. So, if you're trying to be cheap, let's see. This is the cheap option, right? Is depending on what you want. And the Uber, as you saw from Flamingo to Copacabana, is like $4, right? So let's go to our itinerary. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video so far. I'm going to keep on building out this itinerary for you. But if you've watched this much of this video, then you probably like it. So please click the like button and please click subscribe as well. I really appreciate the support. Day one, Friday. So you want to land in the morning, and then you want to check into your Airbnb by 2 p.m., right? Then what I recommend doing on your first Friday, you want to take it kind of easy. You've been traveling. You don't want to do anything crazy, right? Rest in your Airbnb. And then I guess the first thing you want to do is go get some good Brazilian food. Oh, okay. They were hiding this place for some reason. It's a restaurant, but it didn't show up in the restaurants. This is called Orla Sports Bar. This is a really nice, like, local, Brazilian type restaurant. So go to Orla Sports Bar by 5 p.m. You want to go here. You're gonna want to go, drink a little bit, finish by 8 p.m. And then you're going to want to walk on the beach at night in Flamingo. Now, this is critical. This is really important. Do not walk on the beach at night in Copacabana. Copacabana is not a place that you want to walk on the beach at night. It is very dangerous. In Flamingo, you have this nice little path that goes by the beach. You can see it over here. Nice little path. And what you can do is it gets dark, you just go out and you sit over here, drink a beer, and watch the sunset. It's a nice way. Again, your Friday you want to just be relaxing. Let's not go crazy here, right? Okay. So, what you want to do on Saturday? Saturday, I think that you should like check some stuff off the list, right? Let's just start list checking, right? So let's say you get up by 10 a.m., right? Go to Copacabana Beach. You get there by 11 a.m. and then walk on Copacabana, hang out until 3 p.m. Now, in Copacabana, there's a lot of like really famous places to go get food. There's one Rodizio place over here that I'm gonna go find for you. So it's called Churrascaria Palace. What time does it open on Saturdays? 12 to 12. That's perfect, right? So go there for lunch. Late lunch at Churrascaria Palace. This is just look. I think that when you go to a place like Rio de Janeiro, you want to go to some places that are like famous institutions, and then you want to go to a lot of places that just aren't famous that nobody knows about, right? You want to do a little bit of a mix of both. Too much of either is not good. Again, like this is a place like Espeto Cariocas is a place that like you definitely, this is one of those like local types of places that you want to go to, right? So, finish lunch by 4:30 p.m. That's a good time to finish your lunch. And then you want to go to Ipanema, Leblon. And then walk down that beach. hang out at the beach until a little after sundown. See, this isn't too taxing on you. This is a little relaxing. This is a little nice. A little enjoyable time, right? Okay. Now we've been relaxing a little bit too much now. I don't want to go crazy on you, but like we need to start doing some stuff. You paid thousands of dollars to go to Rio de Janeiro. Like let's start seeing some stuff here, right? So you're gonna take your taxi back, you know, on Sunday after you finish at Copacabana. There's a place, and again, like these, a lot of these places are just suggestions, right? Like, you don't have to like go to all these places, but let me see if I can find this place. Oh yeah, Planato de Chop. I'm pretty sure this is the place. Let's do a street view. And let's see if it's the place. Yeah, this is the place. Okay. Yeah. Dinner at Planato de Chop. Look, Planato de Chop, how do I say this? Planalto. Planalto de Chop is one of those places that is not going to show up on any sort of like famous list of like famous places in Rio de Janeiro. You know what I mean? It's not there. But trust me, this is gonna be one of your most fun dining experiences you're gonna have in your entire life. Planado the Chop. It is like how do I describe this? So one of the problems with places like Churrascaria Palace is that, and I mean, I guess it's not like too much of a problem. I just say it's more of a thing about it. Is that Churrascaria Palace, tries to elevate Brazilian food to fine dining, and like it's fine, it's okay, but Brazilian food is at its core absurdity, and that is what Planeta the Chop does so well. It is an absurd restaurant to go to. And I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. Get hammered. Go home by 11 p.m. All right, day 3 Sunday. We're going to start working you a little bit. No, so you're going to want to just go over here. Panda Açúcar. So hike up Pa de Açúcar. This is what you want to put in your Google map, right? But they have a cable car that goes up it, but you're gonna want to hike it. Like go hike it up, and it's Sugarloaf Mountain. Um, if you saw like the photo in like that I was talking at like in my background at the beginning of this video, it was from the top of Pau de Açúcar, right? Which means Sugarloaf Mountain, right? But you want to climb this up for a couple of reasons. One, it just feels like you earned it a lot more than if you just like take the cable car up. But then two, you just had 2 giant Hodigio dinners, so you need to burn off the calories. So start at 10 a.m., get to the top at 11 a.m., 12 p.m., right? Hang out at the top of Pau de Açúcar for 3 to 4 hours, take photos, take cable car down. Now, what you want to do after you get to Pau de Açúcar, you want to go to this place called Takaka. Go to Takaka. Oh, they actually have a nice restaurant at the top, so have lunch there. Go to Takaka for a light dinner. Again, you just had a huge amount of food on Saturday, so you don't really need that much more. But go to Takaka for a light dinner, and then try the acai. That is what they are famous for. So definitely do that. Takaka de Nord, that's what you want to do. And then, your legs will probably be pretty tired. So what I would do, so at this point, it's going to be about 5 p.m. Now, what you need to do, you just rested up at Takaka. Now you're going to want to go to Maracana. Go to Maracana. A football match in Rio de Janeiro is one of the most memorable experiences you're gonna have in your life. It is the best sporting experience that you'll ever have. So I highly recommend go to Maracana, check it out. Definitely do that. That's gonna be on Sunday night. All right. So now we're pretty tired, right? Let's not go crazy on Monday. So on Monday, what I think we should do is um I really should get I really should get like money for this, but sadly I reached out to Airbnb to pay me for this, but they did not want to. So alas. So this isn't so you don't have to pick I'm picking I'm picking this at random. So I just want you to know that. So you don't have to don't go to just this link cuz then this guy will just become like a billionaire, right? But Sunset Cruise. Yeah, I'll put a couple links then, just because I don't want to help just one person. By the way, if you're in Rio de Janeiro and you're just what do I do? This experiences is just like also just a really good resource, right? I would argue this is the best deal in the entire world. I've been all over the world at this point, and I haven't seen a better deal than this. So, um, Sunset Cruise. Or Sunset Sunrise Cruise. So I would actually do the Sunrise Cruise, or maybe just do the Sunset Cruise. Here, we'll we'll, we'll push the cruise back to the PM, and we'll do a Sunset Cruise. And what we're gonna do in the morning is we're gonna go to Christ the Redeemer, right? So I think at this point we've kind of checked off all of the major stuff. And that's the thing about traveling, and digital nomads like me like to make fun of it, but it is a part of traveling is you know, you have to go to the spots, right? So Christ, so we're going to, get to Christ at 10 a.m., walk around, finish at 1 p.m. What I then recommend doing, because we had a light eating day on Sunday, and you don't want to eat too light in Rio de Janeiro. That defeats the whole point. So let's say you finish at 2 p.m., right? Go to the Fogo de Chao. I mean, if you know Fogo de Chao, it's like a really famous Brazilian um, chain that exists in America, and this is the Brazilian flagship of it in Rio de Janeiro in Fogo de Chao, right? And so you go there, just eat like a pig until 4 p.m. and then do your sunset cruise. Now, the one thing about sunset cruise is that it's the reason why it's such a great deal is because it's you see it's like $60, $50, like whatever the amount is, somewhere in that range, and it is all you can eat, all you can drink, a cruise around the bay for 3-4 hours. You get to swim in the bay, and it's just gorgeous. So, yeah, it is 100%. The most memorable experience. Here's the thing, right? You will do Christ, you'll do Pau de Açúcar, you'll do Maracana. Maracana is more memorable, I think, but you'll do all those things, and people will ask you about them, and you'll be like, it was great. You will remember the Sunset Cruise for the rest of your life. That's the thing that you'll actually remember. Everyone will ask you about everything else. You'll be like, that was great, but the Sunset Cruise was really dope. All right, so Tuesday. What I think you should do then is do a Santa Teresa. Is go to Santa Teresa. Now there are some tours that will just do this for you, right? So maybe you want to just do a Santa Teresa tour like that. That could be a good idea for you. Um, Actually, I have a change. I'm calling an audible on this. So we're gonna do a sunset cruise on Tuesday. Eat like a pig until 4 p.m. and then 5 p.m. Go back to apartment, rest, take a shower, and get ready. 7 p.m. Go to Pedra do Sal. I forgot that Pedra do Sal is on like Mondays is like the night. So you want to go to this place called Pedra do Sal. It's right over here. Like whenever you look at the Google images, it looks like absolutely nothing, but trust me, it is a dope thing. So let me see if we can get like actual like pictures that were like at night. Yeah, this is what it looks like. I have my own photos, but like I don't know how to like screen share them. So, but like all my photos look exactly like this. One thing that people are afraid of is like are there criminals and stuff? Um, I can tell you no, but like my explanation for why there aren't might actually like freak you out more. Basically, this area is controlled by the favelas, and they don't want pickpocketing and stuff because it like harms their business, right? So what they do is they're like really strict about enforcing like no pickpocketing, no nothing, right? So, you know, people from other favelas will still pickpocket, so like do keep a good head on you. You don't want to be black out here, but generally speaking, you should be safe. And this is an all night activity. So maybe you want to go at like 10. Maybe you want to go at like 9 or 10. All right, so we got all that down. Tuesday, go to Santa Teresa. So what you can do is either book a tour or just go. So if you're just going, you're actually gonna go somewhere close to here. The first place that you want to start out is this place right over here, the Teatro Municipal Rio de Janeiro. I have a bunch of pictures of this. I stayed in Centro for like a week because these people wanted to kill me. It's a long story, but I actually stayed in this building over here. This was my apartment. But yeah, so you want to go to the theater. You want to and I'll copy this. You want to see this. You want to take a picture of this. You want to take a picture of that. These are all picturable things that you want to do. So you can post on your Instagram. So start at the theater. Look at historic buildings and historic area. And then you want to do the cable car. It is somewhere near here. Where is it? Yeah, you want to go to the Cathedral of San Sebastião. São Sebastião. And then you want to go to the station of Santa Teresa trams. And then what you'll do is you'll take this cable car and you'll go all the way up to Santa Teresa. And then I would just spend the day just walking around Santa Teresa. Santa Teresa is kind of like the hipster area of Rio de Janeiro. It's really cool if you live there. And by cool, I mean like, drinking, cappuccinos and stuff. And then, let me see, what are these called? The Rio de Janeiro steps. And then you want to go to Escadera Celeron. That's where you want to end your trip that day. These are like the famous steps. End the trip at the famous steps. Go home, chill out, then sunset cruise. All right. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now we're at Wednesday. By this point, you've kind of done everything. Like if you would have to leave on Wednesday or Thursday, like you're kind of set. But what I would recommend doing on Wednesday, and this never occurred to me, my aunt actually kind of forced me to do this when she visited when I was in Hio, and I was like really happy. Is like you go here. I don't even know where we went, to be honest. But like where is it? You just go to the national park of Tijuca, and I would make this a whole day thing. So Wednesday, uh, late lunch. No, wait. Let's do like wake up at 11, right? Because you'd be kind of hungover from the sunset cruise. Wake up at 11 and then go to Tijuca National Park. This place is dope. You don't want to just spend the whole day there, and you want to just have like a. I'll just have like an outside activity day. You know what I mean? And just do that. And then like what I'll probably do on this day is like I would just like come back and then spend the night in like Leblon. Like go to like Belmont, right? So like hike until 6 7 p.m. and then you know and then Uber to Ipanema, and then have dinner, drinks at Belmonte. Right? This is a good day, right? And this way, like you don't want to just go to Copacabana like once, right? So this way you can go to Copacabana, you can go to Ipanema, you can go to Copacabana, you know. Um, oh yeah, so what you want to do here on your Copacabana day? Go to the Copacabana Fort. Uh, go to Copacabana Fort. If you like this video, please click the like button and please click subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. And that's your Wednesday. So we're now coming up until the end of your trip. Day 7, Thursday. And we've done most things. What I would recommend doing on Thursday is start off the day and like go back to Copacabana and do a you know um, morning at Copacabana until 2 p.m. And then I would actually go here and then I would take the ferry and then go to Ikarai, and then explore Niterói, Ikarai, go home, and then so this is like a controversial opinion. I think it's just because like I live abroad, but like I actually think the sushi. So one thing with Hio is that like you want to make sure that you don't get the sushi with cream cheese. That's one thing that they do. But this place is one of my favorite sushi places in the world, I would say. Go home, clean up, go to Mitsuo Sushi. That's your and then day 8, Friday. I'm gonna give you until Friday, and then you can just kind of like figure out your own stuff. I've kind of covered everything that people will want to do. You know, Friday you can go to so options Barra de Tijuca. This is this area right over here. Some people absolutely love Barra de Tijuca. Some people think it's the most boring place on planet Earth. Um, another place that you can go to is Governor's Island. Um, it's right over here. Isla de Governor. Governador. And then one last thing that I'm going to recommend doing, or two last things I'm going to recommend doing. The first one is go to a Centro block party, and you can do that on Friday. Where basically what you do is, I don't know the specific area, like the specific place that it is. I would literally just walk around. It's somewhere in this area, and then like they literally just close down the blocks, and they have music, they have dancing, they have stands that sell everything. So definitely want to do that. The second thing that I recommend doing is go to this restaurant called Oro. Um, it is a Michelin star restaurant. For per person is gonna cost you about $200, but it is out of this world, and it's also like, you know, very Brazilian. Um, there's some other Michelin star restaurants in Rio de Janeiro, like Cipriani is a restaurant that everyone really likes, but um, it's not a very Brazilian restaurant. It's more of just like a fine dining restaurant, which is like fine, but if you're going to Brazil, like I think you want to go to like a Brazilian restaurant, right? So, oh, and then another thing, Lago Rodrigo de Freitas is another place that you should go. So I'm gonna put this on the list. Go to Lago de Rodrigo Freitas. This is like this big lake over here. People don't really think about it, but I think it's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous lake. And then in the meantime, walk around Flamingo, walk around Botafogo. Copacabana is kind of grimy. Ipanema kind of feels a lot like Santa Monica, in my opinion. Centro is kind of fun to walk around, but again, it might be a little bit dangerous. And then Santa Teresa is kind of hipstery. But um, yeah, that's it. That's your trip to Rio de Janeiro.